If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this was a commendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Morning segment right here on BusinessDay Television, and it is a pleasure indeed to have you join us this morning. This morning, our conversation is focused on creating real business value in today's product landscape. And joining us this morning to unpack this conversation is a senior product manager, Baki Adewale Musa. Good morning, Baki. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's now start from setting the context. What does moving from features to impact really mean in practical terms?
So in product management, moving from feature to impact really means deploying products that really impact the users and that benefits the business as a whole. So moving from feature to impact really means shifting. You have to shift your focus from just building features, shipping out features, instead of asking yourself, what feature should we really ship? So we ask ourselves, what outcome do we really need to achieve as a product, instead of just shipping out features without looking at, okay, what's the retention of our users? What are we improving in our products? Are we reducing churn rate? So these are the things as a product manager we need to look into, instead of just shipping features. And a feature is not, it's just a means. The impact at which we give the business, the impact at which the users benefit from the product, that's what we should really look after. That's what's measurable as a product manager. So that's what we really need to focus on, the measurable outcome.
All right. I see that that's the shift in the mindset is actually very traditional. Product team actually based on features. But what has driven this shift towards, outcome-based thinking?
I think this shift has largely been driven by competition, data, and other things. So market right now is crowded. There's no product which we want to start today. There isn't a competitor there right now. So the more features we put out there doesn't guarantee the success of the product. So at this time, what we really need to focus on, what's our data saying? What should we be working on? So what should we be working on in partnership with the engineering team? Because to be honest with ourselves, engineering, it's very expensive. Development of a product is expensive. So we need to be able to make sure, okay, this product and this feature we're working on, how does it benefit our users? Is this something our users really like? Using our data, which we've gathered, using our competitors' analysis, using what's the business framework. So all these things, they are very important. Very important at large. So the outcome, the shift of mind has to do with focusing on what really matters, using the data we have from our previous products and all that. So all these are very important.
All right, help us define impact. How do you think business should define impact? Do you think it should be purely revenue driven, or are there other key product factors or metrics that this product manager should prioritize?
Impact shouldn't be focused on revenue driven alone. There are features which you have to shape, not just because they drive the business revenue, but because they're going to drive retention, they're going to drive engagement with your product. And it is this retention, when you're able to retain users with your product, you're able to drive engagement. That way you're able to, in the long run, generate revenue. So all these are very important. It's not just all about business revenue. We have to also consider what other thing does this feature, does it align with our roadmap? Does it align with our business goal? If it does, even if it doesn't immediately generate us revenue, even though revenue is part of what a product manager has to look into. However, not everything shouldn't be based on business revenue alone.
All right, I was going to ask how the alignments actually work, but you actually explained that. But let's talk about the common pitfalls. What are the common mistakes that companies make when they focus too much on features instead of the outcomes?
That's one of the problems many product managers always face. Focusing on just shipping out product every time, making sure how many agile distance have we run, how many sprints have we run. So all those are not what we as a product manager we should focus on. A product manager should focus on metrics, valuable metrics, not just vanity metrics like download. We should focus on metrics that are important for the business, for the growth of the business. Because if you just keep shipping out features, and your users are not really liking the features, it's of no benefit. However, if you ship just one feature and that feature benefits the users and it benefits the business as well by increasing retention, increasing the use of the product, increasing revenue, that's more valuable. That's important than shipping out features from time to time.
All right, so how do you measure success? How do you think product managers can effectively measure whether a product or a feature is truly delivering business value?
So measuring success, it has to start from the conception of the product idea. From the start, you have to ever ask yourself, what does success look like? What metrics are we trying to target. So you need to be clear with your your hypothesis that, okay, this is what we want to work on. This is the metrics we have to focus on. All these are very important. And in the long run, during the marketing, you have to also look, okay, are we testing A and B? All these. So all these are very important. If we are able to define what our success look like, it will be much more easier for us to define, okay, we're able to achieve this, we're able to achieve this success. And this success, how does it benefit the business? How does it benefit the users? Because we have to be very conscious of not just the benefits has to be mutual, not just for the business. It also the users have to also know that, okay, this is the value we're getting from this product.
All right, when we hear product management, it's usually very tech heavy. So now for the non-tech relevance, how can non-tech businesses or team apply this same principle?
So one thing, how I always love to see this is that, okay, instead of, I believe product management idea can be implemented in different businesses, different even non-techy stuff. Let's assume, using the retail as an example now. So instead of let's saying, okay, let's redesign this whole business store, we can say, okay, why can't we just redesign the basket design? That way, maybe that will attract more users. Or let's say, instead of using an armed basket, why don't we use a trolley? That will be more convenient for our users. When they come shopping, it will be more convenient for them. So product management, it's all about, okay, doing what will make your users come, what will retain your users, and what it will also benefit the business. Because let's start an example now. When the users are struggling, when they come to your retail store, they are struggling with holding basket, or some items are too heavy, and they feel, okay, there's a trolley which you're offering, and your competitors are not offering the same thing. That would attract them to, okay, instead of me, they sell the same, their prices in this store are the same. Why don't I just go to where it's more convenient for me? So that way you have that competitive advantage. So that's how I love to preach product management to non-tech people.
All right, so let's look at skills for modern product manager. What new skill do you think they need today to stay relevant in this impact-driven environment?
To be honest, product management in today's world, it's getting more competitive because you need a lot of skill. You need analytical skill, you need strategic thinking skill, you need a business awareness skill. So all these things, because as a business manager, as a product manager, you are at the center of, okay, the product design, the engineering, the business needs, the marketing. You're just at the center of all, trying to juggle all these various departments at the same time. So it's very important to have all these skills: literary skill, strategic thinking, business awareness, all these analytical skills. They are very important because it's no longer just about delivering a feature. Product management is beyond that now. It includes interpretation of your data. How are you using your data? How are you deducing what user needs from your data? So all these are very important. I'm trying to meet business goal as well.
Yeah. What about the businesses trying to adopt this approach? Where do you think they should start from?
So my advice is to start simple. When you want to adopt agile or product management into your business, just start simple. Define the key metrics you're trying to achieve, because product management is all about metrics. What metrics are you trying to achieve? What is the goal you're trying to focus on as a start? Define it, make it clear. Okay, this is what we're trying to achieve. Then make sure any initiation you have, try and tie them to that goal. Try and tie them. You have a goal, you have a metric you're trying to work on, you have a roadmap you're trying to work on. Try and link them up, because it is that way you can easily achieve that goal you've set for yourself.
Finally, looking ahead, the main purpose of this conversation, do you really think that the impact or the focus on impact will redefine how companies view products in the future?
Yeah, I believe the focus is changing. I mean, that's really changing. So companies are moving towards continual experimentation, because you have to keep learning. You have to keep trying different things. So rather than in the past, whereby a company has a fixed roadmap, maybe 3-4 months or 6 months roadmap, where they just keep shipping products towards that particular roadmap. Now companies are taking initiative, they are changing, they are being agile in the way they do their delivery. So the winner in this new era is those who are very adaptive, who can adapt quickly to things, who can adapt quickly to the ever-changing environment, instead of just being static and focusing on shipping feature from time to time.
All right. Thank you very much, Baki. It was really good to have you on the Business Morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're on to Baki Adewale Musa. He's a senior product manager, and he was sharing his thoughts on creating real business value in today's product landscape. And of course, Business Money will be back after the short break. To stay with us.
I am, of course, a great admirer of the impeccable credibility, professionalism, and business savviness of BusinessDay. If you really mean business in Nigeria, start your day with BusinessDay.
BusinessDay is West Africa's leading provider of business intelligence and information, delivering premium content across diversified media platforms, including online, mobile, and print. Since its inception in 2001 with a weekly newspaper production, BusinessDay has expanded its reach to provide exclusive content accessible through print, mobile, and online channels. Our premium offerings are further enriched with syndicated content from esteemed sources like the Financial Times, The Economist, and the Harvard Business Review. At BusinessDay, our mission is clear: to be the foremost provider of business and financial content, empowering readers to make informed decisions in Nigeria and Africa. Since our establishment, we have been committed to delivering insightful, relevant, and accurate information about Nigeria's business and finance environment, while contextualizing the impact of global events. We monitor the stock market, analyze the companies driving it, and report on government policies and their economic implications.
For being consistent in organizing these CEO forums for almost the last 14 years, I think this was a commendation, and I think something that will encourage them to continue.
From decoding market trends to dissecting economic shifts, we offer actionable investment ideas and serve as a compass for decision makers navigating complexity. Beyond headlines, BusinessDay fosters discussions on critical economic issues through impactful conferences and events. These platforms bring industry leaders together to share narratives that drive innovation and spark meaningful dialogues. Our events galvanize connections, bridging the gap between inspiration and achievement. For businesses seeking visibility, our strong digital presence offers unparalleled opportunities, with millions of followers across social media and a dynamic website attracting visitors from within and outside Nigeria. BusinessDay is the ideal platform to boost visibility for your products and services. If you're looking for in-depth analysis and expert opinions on Nigeria and Africa's business landscape, BusinessDay is your guide.
Good morning and welcome to the BDTV Breakfast Show. I am Bethel Ogunjobi.
My name is Elizabeth Musa.
And this is the social listening segment on the BDTV Breakfast Show.
We're talking about the Fly Nigeria Act. Can you give us a background into what this is about?
We are here today on the streets of Lagos, Nigeria, to gather opinion about a pressing issue.
I go look at the cost of petrol. We get very Nigeria with the suffer.
The income is not really increasing, but the prices of items are increased.
Nothing like savings again, no. You only pray for that money to reach you that month.
There's a lot of high pressure, a lot of stress. There's a lot of high targets to be met.
I was quite strict. In my mind, I said, looking for my hand, my picking go spoil.
To allow all banks and all the players in the space.
15% inflation target achievable in 2025.
The command and vision philosophy of both the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, and indeed all the service chiefs